Alright everybody, so I've got my wood brought in, I've got everything laid out. What we're going to use today to attach the wood together is, I like to use these exterior screws by Grip Right. You can pick them up at Lowe's. I use a 2.5 inch because I find that a 3-inch screw goes just a little hair out of the back side of a 2x4. If you were to, if you were to put them together like this, a 3-inch one would go just right out of the back of the 2x4 on this particular wood. So I just go with the 2.5. Gives you plenty of penetration, so it works good for me. I like these too because they have the star bit heads. They're not Phillips, so they don't strip quite as easily as the Phillips do. They actually come with a bit, so that's nice. And they're pretty good bits too. They last through the whole box and a little bit more. You can get them in a box like this, a 1 pound box, or you can get them in a plastic tub container like this one, which I've already had open. I've actually broke the box, but it's got a little lid with it, so it's pretty handy to keep your screws in. I usually use one of these on a big stand. A smaller stand, I can usually use one of these. Alright, so the very first thing we're going to do is build 2 of these boxes that I have laid out on the floor. I haven't attached this together yet, but I have enough wood cut to make 2 of them. And the way that it works is this goes on the bottom. The next one will be your top that your tank actually sits on. And the way that we attach it is you're going to cut an inner leg like this, and it's going to screw to the inside like that, and then you're going to have 2 outer legs that sit like this. And this is just a rough estimate just to show you what I'm looking at. So when you build your next box, it sits right on top of these 2 2x4s right here, just like your bottom. And that gives you a nice sturdy surface. It's very easy to build by yourself, and I mean you've got a good chunk of wood right there that all that weight can sit on. So that's the way that I like to build stands. It's easy, it's pretty cheap. The screws and the wood for this project cost about $55 at Lowe's. I'm going to use a black stain when I'm through with this. I'm either going to spray it or roll it. I'm not sure which one, depending on which one the weather lets me do. I have 2 drills that I like to use. I've got this Bosch 12-volt system. This is an impact, a 1/4 inch impact. Your bit driver can go on one of these holders like this. And then I have another drill that I use to drill pilot holes with. I normally use an 1/8 inch drill bit, but I only have this 1/16 inch with me today. I broke my last 1/8 one the other day and I haven't picked any more up. But this will work to get me started. I'm just going to drill some pilot holes so we don't crack or split the wood. And that's how you do it. I'm going to go ahead and build this box. When I get this box put together, the next box just like it put together, and the inner legs put on it, I'll come back and show you exactly where to go from there. Just keep following us. Alright, so we got the 2 boxes put together and we got the legs put on, and I've got 2 of the outer legs. Went ahead and assembled those on this one post just to show you what it would look like before I do the other 3. And I wanted to show you exactly how I'm fastening these together. This particular stand is going to be for a 75 gallon. So what I did was the long part is 49 inches long, and the center part from this point to the end is going to be a total of 19 inches. So it's going to be just barely wider than the tank. So the tank will sit firmly onto the surface of this. So these are 49 inches. This was 16 1/8 inch. Your 2x4s may be exactly 3 inches when you butt them together, but the ones that I'm using were just a little short of 3 inches. So to make it an even 19 across, I had to cut this one just slightly longer than 16 inches. And I just got two screws on each side there, and I'm going to show you what I did here. All right, now this center post, I wanted my stand to be 33 inches tall. I know that's an odd number, but I've built a few of these, and I kind of just like the height of it, so this is what we did. So these get put on the inside, and then you just tack 2 screws, and then come back on this side and put 2 more screws, and then you set these 2 pieces up on this block right here and fasten them. Same thing on this side. 2 more screws here, 2 more screws here. Okay, and what this does is it builds a nice little base for this next box to sit up on top of. And you can see that's perfect size for a 2x4. It's going to go all the way across there, and you get the point. So I'm going to go ahead and put the outer legs on the other 3 sides, and when I come back, I'll show you the process of setting the box on the top, and that will complete this stand for the most part. Now I'm also going to put some center braces here in the middle, on the top and on the bottom. It's not entirely necessary, but I do it anyway. The bottom of this stand is going to have a shelf on it, so that's the other reason I'm putting those supports down there, so that when I run a 2x4 across there, the plywood that we make the shelf out of will have something to set on, because there'll be a support here and a support here. So that'll keep the plywood from flexing too much. And something we normally wouldn't do, I'm going to go ahead and make a second shelf just a little bit higher than the bottom, just about right there, so that there's some room right there. We can put a shelf just to display some merchandise. Alright, so we have all the legs put together, the inner legs and the outer legs screwed together. So now you got this base, and this top box will just slide right on. Sometimes you have to condense the legs just a little bit, because that's just the way wood is. But anyway, something like that. So there you go. Now if you just wanted to leave the stand like this, it's perfectly fine. Of course you want to screw this in. I put 2 screws on each side, and just watch where your other screws go to. Like for instance, if I put 2 this way horizontally, I'll flip and do vertically on the other side, so the screws don't mesh together and cause issues. But if you wanted to leave the stand like this, it's perfectly fine. You see it holds plenty of weight. I've built several of them like this. I'm going to go ahead and put 2 center supports on mine just to give it a little extra support. And the bottom We'll have 2 supports because, like I said, we're going to put some shelves in this particular stand. We're going to have a shelf on the bottom, and then we're going to come halfway up and have another shelf. That way we can merchandise some of the accessories for the GloFish. And then we're going to take this stand and we're going to paint it black. So I'll come back after we have the center supports installed and we get this thing painted. I'll show you guys what it looks like at that point. And then it's off to the store and we'll get the tank set up, and I'm going to take you guys through the progression of that as well. So thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe and share this video with anybody that you could think of that it might be useful. Alrighty, stand is complete. I want to show it to you before we paint it. We've got the center supports in the middle and on the top now, and I added a little support there that we're going to put some shelving on. I don't have any of the wood that I want to use for the shelving right now, so that'll be added later. The next step is to get this thing painted black and get it over to the store so we can get the tank set up and get it cycling, let the bacteria population grow, and be ready for our GloFish. So yeah, here we go.